Prova.
Sembra di sì.
Prova, prova. Prova, prova. Ok.
Buon pomeriggio a tutti, benvenuti a questa seduta di laurea del mese di giugno per i corsi laurea di area economia. Sempre una grande emozione ovviamente per chi completa il percorso di studi, per i loro amici e familiari, ma anche per noi docenti che abbiamo accompagnato per diversi anni questi ragazzi a raggiungere questo traguardo. Quindi la prima parola è una parola di benvenuto a tutti. Alcuni candidati parlano l'inglese avendo conseguito la laurea in corsi di studi internazionali, quindi io poi parlerò anche in inglese alternativamente all'italiano. So let me give some welcome words to everybody, especially to the candidate students for this graduation exam. I'm really pleased to have you here. I'm really moved. It's always impressive to see our students grow with us during the years, and we are thankful for them to have chosen us, the University of Cassino, and we hope you will enjoy this last ceremony, and then your life will be plenty of luck. Cominciamo con le discussioni. La candidata Nurisa Zante Mirofa. Nurisa, please, you could come and illustrate to the commission your thesis work. The thesis of Nurisa has been advised by myself. She has discussed the issue of how income inequality is related to education. Please, you have 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nurisa Zantamirova, and today I'd like to present my thesis on education and income distribution across the world. Completed under the guidance of Professor Giovanni Camillo Porzio. This research explores a critical issue at the intersection of economics and social justice, one that affects billions of lives worldwide. Income inequality is one of the most pressing challenges of our time. In some cases, education reduces disparities. In others, it may inadvertently reinforce them. And this paradox motivated my comprehensive review of global studies on this critical issue. To study inequality, we first must need to understand how income is distributed and measured. As an example, the Gini coefficient is one of the most commonly used indications, as well as Atkinson index and other measurements like income quintile ratio, Thiel index, and etc. To better understand how income inequality is measured in practice, here I presented some visuals. And as we can see on the map, Latin American countries such as Brazil, Colombia, and Mexico, and some of the sub-Saharan African countries too, are among the most unequal, with the Gini coefficient often exceeding 50 to 60%. In contrast, many European countries, especially Scandinavia, like Sweden, Norway, and Finland, are much lower, display much lower Gini values. Interestingly, though, the United States has a higher Gini coefficient than most other high-income nations, indicating that even advanced economies can experience significant inequality due to labor market structures and limited wealth redistribution. So let's start with some foundational studies. All three of these authors agree on the fact that expanding access to education is, especially through inclusive policies, can improve income equality. But they argue that its effect on reducing inequality is weaker in developing countries where access to quality education and job opportunities is uneven. Together, these studies suggest that education's impact depends not just on access, but also on how inclusive and well-funded the system is. More recent research highlights deeper complexities. Meta-analysis conducted by Abdullah Manning and others showed education influences income at both ends, decreasing what the wealthiest earn and increasing what the poorest earn. Secondary education has a more significant redistributive effect than primary education. Marx found that parental background is a more significant indicator of educational attainment than income, while educated citizens are earn more. The wage premium for education is lower in newly developing economies. These findings show that education alone can't fix inequality. It's shaped by social, economic, and generational contexts. The idea that education can both reduce and perpetuate inequality is captured clearly in two influential studies by Kim and Brin and Chung. According to Kim, it offers a non-linear view. In early years, education reduces inequality, but at intermediate stages, it may widen gaps before eventually reducing them again. And this inverted U effect means timing and access are critical, while Bring and Chung quantify the limits of education's role, showing it explains only 20% of income inequality in the US. Other drivers like labor markets and wealth concentration are more significant. So education can either reduce or reinforce inequality, depending on how it's delivered and what other systems surround it. Recent works as Global Nuance, Cody and Zioli find that reducing education inequality lowers income inequality in developing nations, but this effect diminishes over time for richer nations. Other policies like improving school equality or tax reforms are needed. Based on the works of Lee, they showed that while education can mitigate inequality, globalization and technology often widens gaps. They emphasize the need for complementary policies like social spending and direct education investment. They highlight the East Asian paradox. Countries like China and South Korea expanded education but still saw rising inequality. These studies show that education's impact depends on broader economic and policy environments. It must be a part of a bigger strategy. In conclusion, I would like to present some policy implications, such as equitable access to education, investment in early stage education, as well as complementing education with labor reforms, such as progressive taxation to reduce wealth concentration, minimum wage policies to ensure fair returns on labor, and wealth redistribution, so to correct wealth distribution mechanisms to correct structural imbalances. Lastly, we must recognize that structural factors such as labor market dynamics, globalization, and intergenerational privilege shape how education translates into income. Tackling these issues is crucial if we want education to live up to its promise as a ladder of opportunity. So increasing access is necessary, but not sufficient. It's about connecting education to a broader, fair economic system, one where opportunity, reward, and mobility are more evenly distributed. Thank you.
Thank you, Norita. Norita, I saw you went through many different papers and different issues related to this problem, but I wonder if by chance you have ever met a paper where they discuss the kind of education, in the sense the content, because there is a debate in Europe about the fact that many people is not really interested in studying scientific field, in the scientific field. So if you have ever met in your review any kind of this information, does the content of the education matters?
I'm sorry, could you please clarify one?
I'm asking if, because you mentioned that tertiary education is better than secondary education, I'm also wonder if you have read, maybe not, that not only the level depends as an effect, but also the content, which are the, let's say, the topics that people studied that makes a difference or not.
Oh, definitely. If people study more like scientific related subjects, let's say engineering, medicine, and these kind of related fields, they of course subsequently earn more because this is more valued and more needed, I guess, than any other art degrees or some sort.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Aisulu Toxanova discussed work supervised by Professor Ferrante. He apologizes, was not able to come. Professor Esposito will present her.
Yes, the candidate will present a thesis on regional economic development in Kazakhstan in the last 2 decades. So please, you have 5 minutes.
Sorry. Good afternoon, estimated professors and everyone. My name is Aysu Toksanova, and today I'm pleased to present the results of my thesis on theme regional development of Kazakhstan. The topic is mostly related to OECD policy-oriented approach. So why did I decide this topic? To discuss the results of my thesis, because there is a significant disparities between regions in Kazakhstan, and nowadays our country faces striking disparities and inequality across its regions. Some areas boom with resources and opportunities, while others stagnate. Many areas underperform economically. That's why I had to consider this theme. This topic is extremely important due to these 3 reasons. The first one is infrastructure gaps between the regions of Kazakhstan. For example, in the west part of Kazakhstan, our economy is mostly relied on oil and gas, while the south and east parts of Kazakhstan dealing with the problems of population. The second problem is weak local institutions, and the third one is limited finance access. The fourth one is human capital mismatch, because workers in some regions lack training for modern jobs. These factors are a golden opportunity to unlock potential of our country, and by tackling them, we are able to unlock the potential of our country. As I mentioned before, the western regions are resource-rich, while southern and eastern regions lag. Moreover, it's important to mention that disparities in GRP, infrastructure, urbanization, and services are also a problem to consider. And the next slide. Kazakhstan's economic challenges are also were driving to choose this topic. The first one is overdependence on oil and gas. The second one, low labor productivity. And according to OECD results, Kazakhstan's labor productivity is low and is only 50% of top-tier OECD countries. The third one is oil crisis exposed vulnerabilities in our country. So, in my opinion, adopting OECD territory-based approach is crucial. According to this table, OECD policy shift emphasizes a territory-based development strategy, reframing regions not as passive beneficiaries, but as key contributors to national growth. This requires leveraging local assets through industrial clusters that amplify complex advances. Nowadays, Kazakhstan is trying to deal with this issue by applying territorial clusters by each region. The first region is Karaganda. Government is trying nowadays to master new trends in the construction sectors. For example, by improving the railway road in this region, we are able to decrease the transportation costs by 20–30%. The second region is Turkestan, which is increasing domestic market share to 20% and initiating export activity. The third one is not a region, it's Almaty, is one of the biggest cities of Kazakhstan that is trying to double the domestic market share and initiate export activity. The fourth one is the region where I'm from, and this one is supplying the domestic market with products of higher quality and ensure food security.
Okay, could you please go to the conclusion?
Yes. There are some policy recommendations: investing in regional infrastructure, as I mentioned, decentralizing governance, supporting regional small businesses, and aligning education. My conclusion leads to that Kazakhstan is lacking policy integration nowadays, not a scarcity of resources, but by adapting OECD territorial approach strategy, the country is able to transition from resource dependence to inclusive growth. Thank you.
Thank you. You mentioned the 4 different areas in Kazakhstan.
Yes.
Are these a traditional distinction? Is it locally recognized, nationally recognized, or there are other different distinctions? And also, I wonder if this food security issue is only related to your area or other areas as well?
You mean food security? Food security is not an issue in all areas, but only in my region, because mostly in Akmola region we have very bad climate. That's why we are not able to raise all vegetables, fruits in this region. That's why it's a problem to transport.
This is the south, or is this region in the south?
No, Akmola is a region on north part of Kazakhstan.
It's too cold.
Yes, it's too cold. It's close to Russia. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Next candidate, Dina Davliatova, discuss a work supervised by Professor De Rosa.
Thank you, President. Dina is discussing a thesis concerning the capability of reproducing and creating value within geographical indication in the wine sector of Italy. The floor is yours, Dina.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Dina Davliatova, and today I will discuss about my thesis titled as Guardians of the Taste, Italian Wine, Geographical Identity and Sustainable Future. In my thesis, I will analyze the high-quality products whose quality comes uniqueness and value from their place of origin. I will analyze my thesis by the FAO model, which was presented in 2010, which is called as Origin Linking Quality versus Cycle, which considering following steps, which are identification, qualification, remuneration, reproduction, and the support of public policies. I will focus on the first step, which is called reproduction, through the extended territorial strategies, through the diversification strategies on the farm level. So the close connection between people, place, and product is really important because the uniqueness of the product do not come only from the natural sources, as for example, climate and soil, but also do come from the human sources, as for example, knowledge and traditions. So the region linking quality versus cycle is a model presented by FAO in 2010, which considering following steps. The first one is identification. It's a process of recognizing the uniqueness of the product. The second one is qualification. It's a process of creating a set of rules which will be followed by all producers in the same region just to maintain the uniqueness of the product, also known as code of practice. The third one is remuneration. It's all about fair payment, compensation, and marketing. The fourth step, which I'm focusing on, it's reproduction. It's all about the sustainable futures of the product production. The fifth one is public policies. It's official government support to the producers. These labels has been recognized in the European level by the Regulation 1143 in 2024, which tells the geographical indications maintain two main labels as DOP and GP. DOP label is a protected designation of origin, which has really strict rules that all phases from the production to the transformation has to be done in the same region. The AGP label is protected geographical indication label that tells that at least one of the phases of the production has to be done in the given region. Based on the inequality data, we can see that Italy is the first country in Europe by the DOP products production, consumption, and export. However, these products still face challenges as, for example, climate change, cost pricing, or consumer preference change. And as I said, I'm focusing on the reproduction through the extended territorial strategies, through the diversification stages. So I have analyzed Wick and McKelvey model, which has been presented in 2011, which tells that producers do not focus only on the production of the products, but do many other activities which can help them to increase their income. So based on this model, we can tell that these activities can be divided on the four categories, as for example, on-off farm, farm-related, and farm diverse.
Dina, how you have measured this kind of strategies? Which data you have used and which kind of results?
Okay, then I use the secondary data of the Italian agricultural census, especially on the section D about other gameful activities, where I have found all possible combinations, which then I have analyzed through the standard output indicator, which is financial and economical indicator. This data, analyzing this data, I have found that only one type of the connected activity is used by the majority of the producers, which has the highest percentage of the 45%. And by analyzing the data of the raw percentage, I have analyzed that the larger farmers are, the more possibilities they have to increase and invest in the connected activity, because they have sources and the skilled labor. So in conclusion, I would like to say that a lot of farmers, they focusing only on one type of the production, additional activity, because larger farmers, they have more possibility to invest and they have more sources. At the same time, small and medium farms do not have all these resources. So as a European agricultural policy have to support small and medium farms to make their sustainable in the future. Thank you very much. I'm ready to answer to your questions.
Thank you. Very, very interesting talk and work. So I just congratulate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You already had the question by Professor De Rosa.
No question.
Okay, next one. La candidata Alessandra Minchella discute anche lei una tesi supervisionata dal professor De Rosa. Prego.
Grazie Presidente. Alessandra anche discute una tesi sulla valorizzazione di un prodotto riconosciuto come PAT, prodotto agroalimentare tradizionale. Purtroppo, come in molti casi succede, il riconoscimento è una condizione necessaria ma non sufficiente per ottenere il successo su un prodotto. Prego.
Buongiorno a tutti. Il lavoro che vi presento oggi nasce dall'intento di voler analizzare il percorso di valorizzazione di un prodotto agricolo tradizionale. Così mi sono concentrata sul Conciato di San Vittore come caso emblematico e sul territorio di San Vittore come contesto di indagine. Il percorso si è articolato in due parti, in cui la prima parte, quella teorica, è stato approfondito il concetto di multifunzionalità agricola e le politiche europee che la regolano, mentre una seconda parte, quella empirica, è stata basata su interviste qualitative, poi analizzate utilizzando il modello del circolo virtuoso della qualità. Sempre nella prima parte è stato approfondito il triangolo del valore di Van der Ploeg, un modello che si oppone all'agricoltura convenzionale e rimette al centro quello che sono il territorio, la comunità e gli agricoltori stessi, individuando 3 direzioni strategiche come l'approfondimento, quindi puntare su prodotti tipici e di qualità, l'ampliamento verso nuove attività extra-agricole come agriturismi o fattorie didattiche e il riposizionamento, quindi rafforzare il legame con il territorio e la tradizione. Nella seconda parte invece ho eseguito un'analisi qualitativa seguendo un approccio esplorativo descrittivo dei casi studio, utilizzando la metodologia dei casi studio proposta da IN. Ho quindi svolto interviste a 5 realtà produttive locali che sono collegate alla produzione e valorizzazione del formaggio. L'interpretazione dei dati poi è seguita con il modello del circolo virtuoso della qualità legata all'origine, composto da 4 fasi: identificazione del prodotto, qualificazione, remunerazione sul mercato e riproduzione. Nel caso del Conciato di San Vittore si tratta di un formaggio ovino realizzato al latte crudo e fatto stagionare con delle erbe aromatiche tipiche del territorio, seguendo una ricetta antica e tradizionale. In queste fasi del circolo virtuoso, per quanto riguarda questo prodotto, esistono ma non sono pienamente sviluppate, poiché il racconto c'è ma non è stato ben sviluppato. Il prodotto è riconosciuto come PAT, quindi prodotto agricolo tradizionale, ma il disciplinare tutto il processo non è avvenuto da un'azione collettiva e condivisa. La vendita è affidata a canali indipendenti e la trasmissione dei saperi avviene per lo più oralmente. Questa condizione è dovuta da una debolezza del capitale sociale che ostacola la possibilità di costruire una rete condivisa. E da queste quindi criticità ho individuato alcune strategie operative come la certificazione d'eco in modo da rafforzare l'identità del prodotto a livello comunale, fattorie didattiche e agriturismi per valorizzare quei luoghi come punti di racconto e di vendita diretta e collaborazioni con scuole e università per favorire il ricambio generazionale e la trasmissione dei saperi. Un percorso esperienziale sul Monte San Mugro che permetta di unire gastronomia, il territorio e cultura, un caseificio collettivo per i piccoli produttori per riunirli e costruire finalmente una filiera condivisa e l'uso della comunicazione digitale e dello storytelling per promuovere il prodotto e valorizzare il territorio. Ovviamente tutte queste strategie sono supportate da politiche esistenti, come la PAC 2023-2027, che promuove un'agricoltura multifunzionale e sostenibile. Il complemento per lo sviluppo rurale del Lazio, che va a finanziare progetti di collaborazione e innovazione, e il decreto legislativo 228-2001 che va a riconoscere le attività extra-agricole come parte integrante dell'impresa. Grazie per l'attenzione.
Grazie Alessandra, per me può bastare.
E tra le tante strategie che lei ha illustrato, secondo lei qual è o quali sono quelle, diciamo, che prioritariamente o quelle che possono risultare più efficaci?
Per me quella che potrebbe risultare più efficace è quella del caseificio collettivo, in modo che i piccoli produttori che sono presenti nel territorio possano finalmente riunirsi e creare così una filiera condivisa in modo da valorizzare non solo il prodotto ma tutto il territorio.
Come mai questo suo interesse sul conciato di San Vittore?
Perché oltre che il mio paese di origine, San Vittore, mi ha incuriosito questo conciato di San Vittore che nasce a San Vittore ma non è valorizzato nel territorio.
Grazie.
Grazie mille.
Next candidate, please, Tasbia Masood. She discussed the work supervised by Professor Esposito, please.
Okay, thank you. So Tasbia presents a thesis on the evolution of e-commerce in the area of the Emirates, and in particular, she proposes a case study of Dubai. So Tasbia, you have 5 minutes. The floor is yours.
Good morning. My name is Tasbia Masood, and one of the main reasons why I chose my thesis on this is because I'm born and raised in Dubai. As you know, Dubai is always the forefront of innovation and technologies. So I'm really honored to present my thesis on this topic, the rise of e-commerce in UAE and the impacts of COVID-19 on trade, logistics, and commerce behavior. So moving on forward, before the pandemic, the US already had an internet usage, strong digital infrastructure, and vibrant smartphone access. But during the pandemic, the e-commerce exploded in UAE. E-commerce boomed during COVID-19. So between 2019 and 2021, e-commerce revenue was more than doubled. Major platforms like Amazon.ae and Noon broke the records on a higher scale level. And honestly speaking, the government has played a vital role in the support system through Smart Dubai, updated VAT reforms, and broader digital economical strategies. These has effort easier and more attractive from business to go online. And the trade has also played a very vital role. The COVID-19 pandemic, global supply chain posting the challenges and opportunities in UAE Trade Center. Investment in technologies and technological automation accelerated efficiently. So the major consumer behavior shifts. The pandemic didn't just increase the online shopping, but it also changed how people shop. Mobile-based purchase and app usage sharply. Consumers began to prioritize the faster delivery, improve the hygiene in a convenient way. And this was one of the most significant rise in digital wallet and cashless payments as well. And according to Dubai's Chamber of Commerce, these behaviors are not temporary, but they have continued in the post-pandemic, and this shows a permanent change in UAE retail landscape, where consumers are now more expected with speed, safety, and digital efficiency standards. Moving ahead, the government and the institutional support, where the rapid transformation was possible due to the government institutional support. And one of the major initiatives taken by the UAE government was Dubai Consumer City, a free zone designed for the entire e-commerce business. It is integration of logistics, digital, and business service. In addition, the UAE introduced an AI strategy in 2031, promoting the automation and smarter logistics. Fintech regulations also expand marketing. Digital marketing was also convenient. These are some of the major policies which helped for the online shift and gave consumers the confidence to rely on the digital platform during this crisis of the pandemic. And further, we also had some of the challenges and risks despite all the success, the cybersecurity threat, the data privacy, logistic, and even the consumer trust and refund policies. And further, if we look outlook, UAE e-commerce sector projected exceeded from 13.5 million to US dollar by the year of 2030. And to sustain this momentum, the government was focusing mainly on the 3 areas. First, was in supporting the small, medium-sized enterprising and transforming the digital platforms. Second was investing in the advanced technologies such as AI to improve the blockchain. And the third one they also start to push the digital education by cybersecurity to boost both the business and consumers to feel safe and to inform the digital spaces. Further, in the conclusion, COVID-19 pandemic accelerated on an already digital and economical in UAE. The e-commerce became one of the just convenient lifeline, based by the smart policies, strong infrastructures, and consumers' behavior. And changing the consumer behavior, UAE has positioned itself a regional in the leader of digital trade. To continue the success, the country must keep investing, innovating in security and inclusion. So last but not the least, this was a transformation. This is just not the temporary shift, and it is the foundation of digital future of UAE.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting. I just would like to know your opinion about the policies. Which one of the policies that you mentioned have been more effective, in your opinion?
For the people?
Yeah, for the development of e-commerce.
Of e-commerce, the online trading specifically, online is very easy for all of us. Like, suppose you cannot go to the store, you can buy things online. So everything is online. So these are the main reforms that I think played a very vital role.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Cristian Del Monte discute un lavoro di tesi che ha seguito il professor Bartoli. Prego.
Allora, il candidato ha esaminato le previsioni dell'Istat per il prossimo ventennio e si è soffermato sulla popolazione, sulle previsioni che riguardano la popolazione di età scolastica. Ha notato che, secondo l'Istat, nel prossimo ventennio ci sarà una sensibile riduzione di questa popolazione. E allora a questo punto si è posto un quesito: ma se la popolazione italiana fosse chiusa alle migrazioni, quale sarebbe il risultato? Adesso ce lo spiegherà, prego.
Buon pomeriggio. L'obiettivo del presente lavoro è quello di verificare se l'immigrazione rallenta la decrescita della popolazione in età scolastica. A tale scopo è stata effettuata una proiezione della popolazione in un arco temporale di 20 anni, ipotizzando una popolazione chiusa alle migrazioni. Successivamente i risultati sono stati confrontati con la previsione Istat. Prima di proseguire con questo lavoro è doveroso introdurre un quadro generale dello scenario demografico italiano. Negli ultimi decenni, infatti, l'Italia sta attraversando una profonda trasformazione demografica caratterizzata dalla denatalità e dal conseguente invecchiamento della popolazione. Nel 2024 sono state registrate 370.000 nascite con un tasso di fecondità totale di 1,18 figli per donna, un nuovo minimo storico dopo quello del 95, in cui si è registrato un tasso di fecondità totale di 1,19 con 526.000 nuove nascite. Per dare un'idea della gravità di questi numeri, quando il tasso di fecondità non raggiunge il valore soglia di 2,1, ogni generazione non riesce a sostituire completamente quella precedente. Analizzando gli ostacoli della fecondità, negli ultimi anni si è osservato un cambiamento significativo nelle intenzioni riproduttive dei giovani italiani. La quota di coloro che dichiarano di desiderare almeno un figlio nel corso della vita è diminuita sensibilmente, a causa sia del cambiamento nei modelli di realizzazione personale delle donne, che per fattori economici e percezione di incertezza nel futuro. Complice di tutto ciò è il nostro sistema di welfare, che risulta sbilanciato, frammentato e incoerente. Tornando al nostro studio, il metodo utilizzato per le nostre proiezioni è quello del cohort component. Le probabilità prospettive di sopravvivenza sono state estrapolate dalle tavole di mortalità del 2023 relative alla popolazione residente in Italia, suddivise per sesso. Questi tassi sono stati mantenuti costanti per l'intero periodo della proiezione. I quozienti specifici di fecondità sono stati calcolati sulla base della distribuzione dei nati da madre italiana per età della madre, utilizzando i dati del 2023. La popolazione femminile in età feconda è stata depurata dalle donne di nazionalità straniera e i tassi ottenuti sono stati mantenuti invariati per tutto l'arco temporale considerato. La popolazione di base, quella al 1 gennaio 2024, è composta esclusivamente dai residenti in Italia di nazionalità italiana. Non sono stati considerati i flussi migratori. Nella prima tabella possiamo osservare i dati relativi alla previsione Istat e alla nostra proiezione, espressi sia in valori assoluti che in variazione percentuale. La popolazione iniziale della nostra proiezione ammonta a 10.700.000 individui, per arrivare al 2044 a 6.800.000, un decremento del 36,6%. Questo decremento non è omogeneo nel tempo, ma si propaga a onda tra le varie classi d'età. Questo è dovuto sia alla nostra ipotesi di assenza di flussi migratori che di tassi di fecondità costanti inferiori al valore soglia. Se questo scenario dovesse verificarsi, la chiusura delle scuole, soprattutto nei piccoli comuni, spesso situati in zone svantaggiate, innescherebbe un circolo vizioso di denatalità. Ma anche nelle città ci sarebbero gravi conseguenze. Infatti le scuole elementari e medie, che sono capillarizzate in tutte le città, forniscono un elemento per l'identità fondamentale dei vari quartieri. Nella seconda tabella possiamo osservare lo scostamento percentuale della nostra proiezione rispetto alla previsione Istat. Nello scenario iniziale lo scostamento è già del 13% a causa della nostra esclusione della popolazione straniera, per arrivare a meno 31% a causa sia delle nostre ipotesi citate nella tabella precedente, sia perché nello scenario Istat sono previsti tassi di fecondità in crescita costante e un saldo migratorio positivo. Concludendo, le proiezioni qui illustrate gettano nuova luce sulle migrazioni, robusti saldi migratori positivi, simili a quelli del primo decennio di questo secolo, e l'adozione di politiche mirate ed efficaci, anche sul fronte della natalità, potranno contribuire a frenare la riduzione della popolazione in età scolastica. Menzione particolare meritano le politiche già attuate da alcuni atenei italiani. I corsi di inglese di alto livello dovrebbero moltiplicarsi sia per innalzare le competenze degli studenti italiani, sia per attrarre un numero sempre maggiore di studenti stranieri. Un esempio virtuoso è quello di questo ateneo che, secondo i dati Ustat, nell'anno accademico 2023-24 ospitava una percentuale di studenti stranieri iscritti pari al 22,6%, a fronte di una media nazionale del 7% ed europea dell'11%, e un numero di immatricolati di nazionalità straniera pari al 33%. Grazie per l'attenzione.
Grazie, molto interessante. Lei sa, l'Istat quando ha fatto le previsioni,
Sì.
come ha considerato la componente straniera, cioè come ha immaginato di prevedere la crescita dell'immigrazione, se lo sa?
Allora, sicuramente saldi
Se ho
migratori
capito
positivi.
bene, lei ha detto, ha parlato di saldi migratori
Sì.
positivi, ma non
Sì.
sa come li stima, cioè, che numeri ha utilizzato per calcolare questa presenza migratoria positiva?
I vari
Che scenario
flussi
di-
migratori registrati nel tempo che hanno fornito la base per le
Ha
nuove
guardato lo
previsioni.
storico? Ha guardato il dato storico, l'Istat,
Sì.
di saldo migratorio? Va bene. Lei si iscrive a un corso di laurea in inglese allora?
Come?
Lei si iscrive a un corso di laurea in inglese allora?
Vedremo.
Vedremo. Va bene, grazie.
A lei, grazie.
Now we move to the candidates for the master degree. There are 5 candidates. The first candidate is Halimbeck Sanjimbaev. The advisor is Professor Lucio Cappelli, if you want to say a few words.
Okay, Allenbeck prepared a thesis on the use of artificial intelligence in enhancing the quality of business process. So I invite the candidate to present her thesis.
Thank you, Professor. Good afternoon to the committee, my colleagues, our dear friends. Nice to see you. Today, my name is Allenbeck Sagambayev, and today I want to present my master's thesis titled Innovation, Artificial Intelligence in Total Quality System, Enhancing Business Efficiency. This research was developed under the guidance of my supervisor, Professor Luigi Cappelli. Thank you, Professor. In this thesis, I focused on how AI, modern technology like machine learning, natural language process, and computer vision can to help total quality management to improve or detect the defects. The main goal of my work was, first, its AI technologies are actually used in quality management. For example, machine learning for predicting analysis, computer vision to detect production defects. Then I looked to show how tools transform classical quality models like total quality management, Lean, Six Sigma, and digital twins. And finally, I wanted to understand the main challenges small, medium-sized enterprises in Italy face and suggest practical strategies to adopt AI in their companies. Research methodology. The care of this research, I followed a quality approach. I reviewed over 50 sources like McKinsey, Instat, and Convent Industria, as well as academic papers. I studied really life cases like companies like Fiat, Toyota, Barilla, Sims, and small, medium enterprises in Veneto and Lombardo, also Emilia-Romagna. Key benefits of AI. AI brings some really impressive advantage. For example, it increased predictive accuracy. Some models reach up 99% compared to traditional systems that achieve 70–80%. For example, at Toyota, AI helped reduce maintenance-related downtime by 20%. At Barilla, the use of digital twins to cut the energy cost drying of wine by the 12%. Main challenges. It was really difficult because around 40% deals with fragmentation data, which makes it hard to train AI systems. Costs can be high, like 100,000 euros to the 2 million euros, depending on the complexity. At many small, medium-sized enterprises in Italy, about 60% don't have enough AI-skilled employees. Also, some employees don't trust AI. Base studies. Now, let's look at some practical example. For example, Fiat saw at 80% reduction in defect and 50% less downtime thanks to AI. A pasta factory in Bologna saved half their implementation cost using cloud AI by the 5,000 euros per year. A textile factory in Lombardy had 36 hours of downtime due to the sensor errors. In Sicilia, a digital twin cost 200 euros to set up, but was paused due to high maintenance cost. Explainable AI and human involvement. One case solution in explained AI in the pharmacy sector in Rome, using AI reduced audit delay by 20%. Another good strategy is combine AI and human inputs. At Toyota, these hybrid models cut defect by 40% while keeping employees engaging high. The future of AI, the future of the quality. Looking ahead, AI is changing what even means the quality. For instance, at Siemens, an AI management factory reduced cost by 25% and instead productivity by 20%. In banking, for example, Italian bank Unicredit also using AI to cut customer waiting time by 30%. Also, in the healthcare hospital in Milan, for example, they cut it like 20%, 12% of infections. In conclusion, I want to say that AI, it's not replacing total quality management, it's involved with it. Quality in the 21st century means intelligence, adaptability, transparency, and sustainability. In small, medium enterprises in Italy, the key is not just deploying AI, but adapting it to human-centered system. Thank you for your attention. I will be glad to answer for your questions. Thank you, committee.
Thank you. Alimbeck, my question is very simple. You propose AI as a very good solution to many problems. Do you see any risk in the use of AI in your framework, in quality management?
I think yes. Like I show to professors, to our visitors, for the success side. Also, we have a risk. In the 21st century, AI is developing very fast than human brains. And I think we can't at the moment to trust AI for 100%. I think we need like 5-10 years.
So which is the main risk in TQM that you see? Not in general. In TQM, what is the high risk you see that's possible? Something that you must warn or must be able to manage to avoid any particular issue, if you have any idea.
I think like the heat of the big corporations, they have decided to change human resources automatically to the robots and trust that AI will be solve all their problems or to identify defects, maybe. I think at that time it will be problem.
Okay.
Also risk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you, guys.
Bhavani Ebasu. Discuss a thesis, supervised by Professor Bruni, please.
Okay, thank you, President. Bhavani Basuri is presenting a thesis in service management. In particular, she worked on project management, and she had some interviews with small and medium enterprises analyzing opportunities and limitations in applying project management in small and medium enterprises, in particular in the technology sector. So the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bhavani Hepsur. My master thesis is on project management for SMEs in the technology sector, opportunities and limitations. Before I begin with the presentation, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude, firstly to my thesis supervisor, Professor Bruni, my colleagues who are here today, my friends and family. What is project management? It is the structured application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques. It achieves defined project objectives under time, scope, and budget constraints. Though it is assumed that only large enterprises need project management, due to increasing complexity in today's SME project work environments, like new product development, policy implementation, SMEs can benefit from the project management largely. The bodies and frameworks that you can see on the screen are the popular ones, out of which Project Management Institute and APM are widely used. Understanding the economic significance of SMEs in Europe, SMEs constitute 99% of all the businesses in the European Union. We can say that SMEs are the backbone of the EU economy, vital for jobs and innovation. As you can see in the graph, their real value added and the employment index show resilience and growth after pandemic. We can say that when SMEs thrive, the economy thrives. Why technology sector? Because it catalyzes cross-industry advancements like AI in healthcare, IoT in agriculture, generates high-value employment opportunities, and it positions countries on the global innovation map. It also is very crucial for the transformation of operations and business models. You can see in the graph that the simulation by Deloitte says the technology sector is expected to grow 4 times that of the European GDP by the end of 2030. These were my research questions to understand the project management. How can the project management be applied to technology SMEs? In my further slides, I would be using PM as the abbreviation. And what impacts does it have on efficiency, innovation, and customer satisfaction? The third one was the understanding opportunities and limitations for project management in the SMEs. For this, I did the comprehensive analysis of project management frameworks. I then conducted 4 semi-structured interviews with technology SME professionals, did the thematic coding and cross-analysis of the literature and practice. The key literature highlights the resistance to PM implementation by SMEs. And there was this framework that was provided by Wall in 2024, which considers project and client requirements for efficacy, the agile methods for customer satisfaction, and Kaizen for continuous quality improvement. I conducted 4 semi-structured interviews. 2 companies were small enterprises, 2 were medium. 2 were based in Cassino, 1 was from Salerno and Napoli. Majorly, they provided IT services and consulting, and 1 was advanced engineering solutions. As you can see, the participants' role varied from general manager to sales account manager, head of R&D, and president. My questionnaire had 3 segments. Firstly, it was about the understanding SME project frameworks, how did they use for the business functions on day-to-day basis. And the second one was how the SMEs adapted, and selected the frameworks, such as waterfall, agile, and hybrid models. The third segment was about opportunities and limitations that SMEs face in regarding PM. Observations from interviews: the SMEs focused or perceived project management as a key for coordination and stakeholder management. They used project management in marketing, sales, R&D, and functions, R&D and innovation. Agile, waterfall, and hybrid models were strategically applied. They used KPIs and customer feedback to track performance. The popular tools used by the SMEs were Asana and Microsoft Project. The teams adapt project requirements flexibly, were the opinion of the SMEs. The key similarities that I found from the interviews and the literature were administrative and operational efficiency, which said Agile enhances task management and collaboration, improves productivity and workflow transparency. They also said innovation encourages experimentation and iterative improvements. They also were of the opinion that it focuses on customer collaboration and responsiveness. When it comes to the differences, what was observed was the literature focused mainly on the rigid frameworks, the formal trainings and meetings. However, from the interview, I got to know that the Agile, the SMEs perceived Agile as flexible, and they used informal workflows, and they preferred informal workflows over lean systems or tech integration or even tech tools. Innovation was mentioned as a driver of innovation culture by the SMEs in the literature. However, interviews were of the opinion that it is more of the carrier and not the driver of the economy. Coming to customer satisfaction, literature and interviews both suggest that it enhances customer satisfaction due to continuous collaboration and feedback loops. Both literature and interviewees said that they highlighted the need for capital and trained staff across tech. Skill shortages were definitely noted by both literature and interviews. And the interviewees highlighted the burnout and the multitasking because of lack of resource constraints. And complexity of implementation were due to not being able to utilize the technology and not being able to afford technology because of the financial constraints as well. Interviewees highlighted that they lacked belief in leaders and they perceived that they had more flexibility using Agile. In the results, I found out that administrative and operational efficiencies, innovation, customer satisfaction, and complexity of implementation aligned partially, whereas resource constraints, skill shortage, and cultural and operational barriers, fully aligned. SMEs can tailor the approaches according to their unique size, structure, and culture. Leadership drives change. That is, strong leadership and open mindsets are very crucial for overcoming resistance, embedding agile thinking, and driving transformation. Leveraging tools like CRM, ERP, and Kanban systems boosts visibility, coordination, and responsiveness. In conclusion, project management can be a game changer for small and medium enterprises. By tailoring methods to their unique size, flexibility, and operations, agile and hybrid approaches unlock new possibilities. Effective project management boosts service delivery, customer satisfaction, and innovation, the keys to staying competitive in today's fast-paced world. Project management also strengthens stakeholder relationships through transparency and accountability. It creates a culture of continuous improvement, helping SMEs overcome resource constraints, skill gaps, and cultural barriers. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm open for any questions.
I have just two curiosity. The interview were based on, let's say, questionnaire or idea by your own, or you were inspired by some others who did a similar work somewhere else?
It was curated by me.
Yeah.
Earlier, there was this work done by A. Turner and Lima in the year 2009. However, it constituted more than 70 SMEs.
Yeah. And the second question is about the percentages you showed us. You show some percentages.
Yes.
At the end, is that your judgment? How you got that numbers?
No, it was completely on my logical judgment.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Ekaterina Variakina. Yes, please. Professor Bruni also supervised this work.
Yes. Ekaterina worked on a thesis on marketing and business cases, and in particular she focused on Metaverse. This is a complex thesis because it's based on some interviews analyzing the use of Metaverse from some companies that are trying to use Metaverse in customer care for some services. So please, Ekaterina.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ekaterina Variakina, and today I'm pleased to present my thesis, The Role of Metaverse in Customer Care. The research questions is based on my study, and the first research question is: what are the perceived strengths and weaknesses or challenges associated with integrating the metaverse into customer care operations in companies such as Meridionale, Studi, Yandex, and Meridionale. And the second research question is: what strengths and weaknesses in considering metaverse in approach in customer care? My research aims was to investigate how metaverse technologies can enhance customer engagement and service delivery in business context. And my objectives are identify key strengths and weaknesses in metaverse platform, metaverse adoption for customer care through qualitative research interviews with industry experts. And the research explored potential strategies overcoming barriers to metaverse, adopting and optimizing customer care practices. The research path I follow to complete my thesis is defined research objective, conducted literature review, and then I developed theoretical framework, designed qualitative methodology, selected case companies, conducted expert interviews, analyzed results. After getting results, I applied context and pastel analysis for answering my research questions. My literature background is based on Metaverse and service platforms. Advanced algorithms enable in real-time customized customer experience. AR, VR in customer experience. Immersive technologies enhance emotional engagement. Gamification strategies, reward systems, and progress tracking to increase purchase frequency and brand loyalty. Ethics and data privacy, accessibility, and legal compliance remain challenges in Metaverse adoption. Metaverse, a new digital frontier. The term Metaverse is combines two words, the Greek word meta, meaning beyond, with universe, and the Metaverse signifies technological convergence of decentralization, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, supported by robust infrastructure, creating an immersive and adaptable digital realm. This is Metaverse key features: persistent, immersive, and massive. Its virtual worlds provide rich sensory experiences to the large amount of users. At the same time, synchronous living experience for all in the real time, digital and real, an experience that spans both the digital and real world economy. Individuals and businesses can create, own, invest, sell, and produce value that is recognized by others, and generate the values within Metaverse without central control. And interoperable, its data, content, assets, and digital items can be used across different platforms. Thank you. This is the Metaverse market size and growth 2023 to 2033. Global Metaverse market share to grow from 92.46 billion to around 237 billion by 2033. North America led with 37% of market share in 2023, and Asia Pacific to grow fastest with 52% of CAGR. VR and technologies dominate with 60% market of share, and media entertainment is leading sector, accounting for 31% of usage. Now I will demonstrate industries adopting the Metaverse is retail and e-commerce, gaming and entertainment, banking and finance, healthcare, education and training. The main benefits the companies getting from Metaverse and applying customer care in their work. So it's enhanced experience, virtual try-on, instant support, or 3D improved satisfaction, cost savings, reduces the need for physical stores, less inventory, and automated customer service. Global reach offers 24/7 anywhere service without location barriers. Here some challenges for companies in adopting the Metaverse for customer care. First challenges is high cost. VR, AR, and I require large investments. Small and medium enterprises can struggle more than big companies. The second, technical complexity. Hard to connect with current systems, needs expert skills and frequent updates. Workforce readiness, lack of internal expertise, and workforce, capabilities to manage virtual tools, need for employee training on virtual tools and new interaction models, ethical and privacy concerns. Metaverse collect a lot of personal data. Companies must navigate privacy laws to avoid reputational damage and loss of trust.
Yes, Yekaterina, if you can go straight to the case study and focus on conclusions.
Yes.
Yes.
This is my case study. I applied interview methodology, and the research employed an expert interviews to approach insights from industry professionals deeply familiar with the metaverse and customer care integrations. The qualitative method allowed for detailed exploration of complex topics through open-ended questions. The interviews focused on understanding the current applications, benefits, challenges, and future potential of the metaverse. Is enhancing.
That's what comparison table can help to show the companies.
This is my SWOT comparison table. And starting with the strengths, Metaverse Studio benefits from a strong Fortune 500 client base, specialized in immersive brand experience, strong EU digital grants. Yandex domestic market dominance in Russia, high-tech infrastructure, hybrid virtual physical solution, and Mytona global gaming community, social metaverse platforms, Mytonaverse, blockchain, NFT experiments. Regarding weaknesses, limited scalability, SME constraints, high dependency on niche market, Yandex is geopolitical sanctions impact, and Mytona cross-border regulatory complexity, hardware dependency for full immersion. In terms of opportunities, Metaverse Studi can expand with growing VR, AR adoption in EU NFT-based customer engagement. Yandex Russian tech sovereignty initiatives, AI-driven virtual assistants, and for Mytona, gamification of customer support, younger demographic adoption. Finally, for threats, competition from meta-theory faces competition from global metaverse platforms, GDPR compliance, metaverse platforms, GDPR compliance cost. And for Yandex, it's data localization laws, international market access, and limitation, and international market access limitations. Mytona, privacy concerns in virtual space, rapid tech obsolescence. This is my future research directions for metaverse in customer care. Enhance customer experience, immersive, personalized interactions, boost satisfaction and engagement. Operational challenges require significant infrastructure investments and data and security concerns. New service model, hybrid human eye support system, and gamified transforms traditional methods, customer care, and strategic differentiation. Early adopters gain competitive advantage in customer loyalty and new revenue streams from virtual goods services. In conclusions, I want to say this study explored how company Metaverse Studio, Yandex, and Mytona use the metaverse in customer care. Findings for research question 1, strengths, immersive technologies, AR, VR, improved customer satisfaction, significantly faster response times, and enhanced brand loyalty perception through gamified experience. Weaknesses, high implementation cost and staff training are major barriers, while data privacy concerns require robust governance frameworks. Findings for research questions 2. The results suggest that successful metaverse adoption in customer care requires implementing control pilot programs, investing in comprehensive staff training, and ensure transparent data practices to build customer trust. These findings demonstrate that metaverse presents transformative opportunities for customer care service. Companies must strategically manage the associated costs, learning curves, and privacy considerations. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Caterina, I just wonder if you have ever tried as a customer to enter a metaverso, if you enjoyed that.
For me?
Yeah, yourself.
I want to, yes, but it's not that popular now in Europe and in Russia. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Ainilia Ospanova. Yes, please, Professor De Vincenzi.
Grazie. La candidata presenta una tesi, discute una tesi sulla competitività delle imprese di trasporto e logistiche, presentando un caso di studio su una compagnia kazaka, la Renos
Intermodal Systems.
Thank you.
Buongiorno a tutti, dear professors, guests, classmates, and hi to my mom and friends who are here today. I would like to introduce my thesis topic, Enhancing the Competitiveness of Logistics Services in Transport Companies, a case study of Renos Intermodal System. This topic means a lot to me. I worked in logistics for a few years, especially in oil and gas, so I've seen the real challenges that companies face every day. Here's the quick overview of my thesis, the purpose and objectives of the study, theoretical of logistics services competitiveness in transport companies, methods for evaluating the competitiveness of logistics services, my case study, Renos Intermodal Systems, evaluation of logistics services competitiveness, and conclusion and recommendation. First of all, I would like to highlight the main purpose of my thesis, which is to explore and propose practical strategies for improving the competitiveness of logistics services in transport companies, using Renos Intermodal System as a case study. And my main objectives were analyze the logistics systems of Renos, evaluate the competitiveness of assessment methods, develop 5PL based on planning model, explore the role of the US-UKZ platform, and compare the effectiveness of proposed improvements. And let me go through overview of logistics services in order to give you a proper definition. Logistics services include transport, storage, order delivery, and managing stock. They help companies save time, reduce cost, and improve customer satisfaction. Today, logistics is changing rapidly, so companies using automation, real-time tracking, AI, and eco-friendly solutions. So logistics is no longer just support, it's a big part of business strategy. And the methods to evaluating logistics services is shown in my next slide, which is quality-based method, strategic planning method, portfolio strategic analysis, factor-based strategic, and systematic metrics approach. And for my case study, I have chosen Renos Intermodal System to analyze and understand an example. This is a German company founded in 1912 and operates in more than 50 countries. In Kazakhstan, launched in 1996. The company offers services such as multimodal freight, customs clearance, warehousing, etc. Specializes in complex cargo, including dangerous and oversized goods. So, and the initial analysis I have applied a SWOT analysis which demonstrates the current position of the company. So, we have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, let me give you a quick overview. Strengths, big experience, strong brand, and good team. Weaknesses, weak planning and not enough digitalizations. Opportunities, growing demand for logistics in Kazakhstan and along the European Union and Asia road. And threats, custom delays, political risks, and unstable costs. Based on that, I came to a conclusion that we could identify points for improvements. That's why, in order To understand financial aspects, I have calculated financial rates. So in this slide, you see the cash flow in 2024. Most income came from daily operations, which is a good sign, but the investment and operation activities were unstable. So it means that they need better financial planning and long-term strategy. So these results support what we saw here and also in the SWOT analysis, that they are strong in daily, but need better long-term direction. And in order to improve the logistics services, I proposed a 5PL. Next slide, we see the logistics service pyramid. It shows the different level of logistics services. So in the top, we see the transport and storage, cargo owner, production or retail. In the middle, we see planning, IT tools, transport, forward, or other logistic organization, and in the bottom we see 4PL logistics, and e-logistics means it's full digital control and real-time coordination. My case study, which is Renus Intermodal Systems, is in the middle of pyramid now, but they can go higher with the right challenges. So based on my thesis research, I have given other recommendation in my next slide. So I would like to present quick overview. So enhance strategic planning, risk management and insurance, access competitiveness systematically, improve quality control, and also adapt 5PL and e-logistic models. And in conclusion, I would like to point out that logistics is more about just moving goods. It's about smart planning, technology, and quick decision. Transport companies in Kazakhstan, like Renus Intermodal Company, have a lot of potential, but they need to focus on long-term planning and digital tools to stay more competitive. And I believe this research gives helpful ideas for companies and beyond. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I wonder which are the sources of your work, so which kind of documents you have analyzed to derive your conclusion and so on. Can you explain?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat?
Which are the sources? Which documents have you read?
So, as I told you, I have experience in Kazakhstan in oil and gas, and I worked in Renus Intermodal in Kazakhstan after my bachelor degree, which was based also in logistics.
Okay. Thank you. Last but not least, of course, Baima Aspahefa, which discusses work supervised by Professor Giammetti, please.
Yeah, well, Baima is going to present a study on the relationship between foreign direct investment and development. There is wide literature on foreign direct investment as means of development or as means of dependency, and she tried to add some food for thought on this trend of the literature.
Hello everyone, thank you. I'm the last presenter, so if you will clap loud, I will assume that it's relief, not applause. My name is Baima Stapaiva, and today I am going to present my thesis titled The Impact of FDI on Emerging Economies. Is it pathways to development or dependency? I focused on 3 countries, Nigeria, Brazil, Vietnam. Why I choose these countries? Because they're very different in many cases, politically, geographically, and economically. So this diversity helped me to see how FDI works in different contexts. I use both data data analysis and case studies. And I also ran regression to see how FDI works and their relationship between FDI with economic growth. And I also studied sectors where FDI went and how each country used it. And I used data set from 2000 to 2022. So let's begin our research with two key research questions. Does FDI help countries with economic growth? And second question is, does FDI cause countries to become too dependent on foreign companies? To explore these two questions, I used two theories. Modernization theory says that FDI is good for economic growth and so on because it brings money, creates jobs, and technology. But dependence theory warns that FDI can lead to dependency and inequality because from many reasons, which we'll explore later. So I ran regression to see the relationship between FDI and GDP growth, and the results were really surprising because there was no strongly linked between these two variables. And especially in Vietnam and Brazil, and also presence in Nigeria, that means that FDI didn't bring automatically benefit, which challenges the optimistic view of modernization theory. But I found more important that FDI was strongly linked to profit reputation. This tour, especially, you can see that in Vietnam and Brazil and also in Nigeria, which supports dependency theory. So looking deeper by sectors, I can see that, that in Vietnam and Brazil, FDI in manufacturing and technology helped more. It created jobs and exports. But in Nigeria, most FDI went on oils and gas, and which led to capital flight and local fuel benefits. So this shows that where FDI goes is important because some sectors help economy more than others. So what does it mean? This means that FDI is not always good or bad. It depends how it's managed. And countries need strong policies to for example, keep more profits in the country, to use FDI to create more local industries and avoid too much dependency on foreign companies. To conclude, FDI can help development, but only when countries have a clear strategy. If it is not managed well, FDI can lead to inequality and dependency. So, key message is strategic management of FDI is essential for fair and real development. Thank you.
Thank you. Two questions. One question is about the data used, where they come from.
There came from World Bank, UNCTAD, and so on, like kind of trusted sources, yes.
Yeah, so you mix the different sources of data?
Yes, different sources. For example, for sectoral resources or sectoral analysis, I used another data, and also for example, to analyze the relationship between FDI and GDP growth, there was another variables, and also for to define the profit reputation also was another variables and from other sources, but the time is for all variables was the same, like from 2000 to 2022. Yeah.
And use different separate regression analysis for each country, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
You didn't combine them.
Yeah, because it was too many information. I couldn't add every country here. For example, for sectoral analysis, I did manufacturing technology and resource extracted for each 3 countries. But here I just, I just edit more or less information to, in order to be more faster and quicker.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay, since we have time, I wanted also to ask a question. One is about the nature of FDIs. So I wonder if, for example, in Brazil, what is if you know about the role of, the horizontal definition of FDIs. So they also serve the local market, and in this way they can actually be maybe more effective in creating employment and stimulated domestic consumption, for example.
Like in case of Brazil, which policies you mean, or?
No, I'm wondering whether the majority of investments are vertical, so outsourcing of specific stages of production, or also horizontal for market closeness, let's say?
Thank you for the question. I suppose that it depends on the many factors, like, for example, institutions, corruption rate, policies, their political stability. And for example, in Brazil, there was a high corruption rate, and also in Nigeria, and that's why there was not really good results at the end. But in, for example, Vietnam, they show really good results in the long term. So, yeah, it depends many factors.
Okay, yeah, that's true. No, I wanted to better understand your empirical analysis. So you said that you, for each country, in the regression, in the OLS regressions, you added different sectors. Or it's just a time series?
For the regression analysis, if you mean the sectors, there was just 3 sectors for all countries, just to compare all countries by the same sector. Because if I would, for example, select the several sectors, it would be kind of misleading, kind of a little bit. So I just, to compare well, I just select 3 countries for all 3 countries.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 sectors for all 3 countries.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But maybe just for the future, if you want to expand on this work, which is very interesting, to just see a regression with 2 variables maybe is a little bit, you just capture correlation and not really a causation effect. So.
Yeah, thank you.
This is in particular with the aspects of growth, not much with respect to property valuation.
I will take it into account. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. So now the committee will take its time to discuss the final evaluation of the exams. We will be back in 5-10 minutes. Chiedo ai candidati di venire qui davanti alla Commissione. È un momento sempre particolare, si conclude qui un percorso di studi durato diverso tempo e ancora gli auguri da parte di tutta la Commissione. E tutti i candidati hanno superato l'esame di laurea e dunque per i poteri che mi vengono dati dalla legge ho il piacere e l'onore di nominare dottori in economia nelle rispettive classi di laurea. Nurisa Zambevirova, sorry for my accent, 88 out of 110. Ayusulu Toksanova, 97 out of 110. Dina Dailatova, 92 out of 110. Alessandra Minchella, 97 su 110. Tabshia Massoud, 84 out of 110. Cristia Del Monte, 91 su 110. Per gli stessi poteri ho il piacere e l'onore di dichiarare dottori magistrali in economia nelle rispettive classi di laurea Alimbek Sanjibaev with mark 91 out of 110, Bahani Ebasu with mark 104 out of 110, Ekaterina Variakina 80 out of 110, Enilia Ospanova 98 out of 110, Baima Aspaheva, 95 out of 110. Congratulations and good luck for your future. Before the party, please come here for a signature, otherwise the accent is not valid. Thank you. So enjoy your life and good luck again for all the committee members. Thank you again, all. Congratulations. Enjoy your party.
Molto meglio così, è la prima volta che infatti mi sono sempre chiesto perché per ogni candidato.
Lucio, è sempre un piacere.